Trick Lama.
Hello everybody, and we are on to another episode of Trick Lama with me, Terrence Fernandez, and my co-presenters, Datuk Zainul Arifin, CEO of Big Boom Media that publishes Scoop and produces the channel Poda Boom, our podcast channel, and of course Datuk Ahiruddin Attan, our executive director, also or better known as Rocky.
Hello, Terrence.
So gentlemen, today we have a guest.
Wow, after 3 weeks.
After 3 weeks of our audience having to look at 3 talking heads, I'm glad to report today that we have 4 talking heads.
Yeah.
And our guest today is none other than Minister of Entrepreneurial Development and Cooperatives, YB Stephen Sim.
Yes.
Hello, good morning, gentlemen.
Stephen, you look very sleepy today. You don't sound like your usual energetic self.
I'm surrounded by 3 probing journalists, so I want to start slow.
Don't worry.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. So, Stephen, we have a lot of questions to ask you about your ministry. But you see, audience, today is Friday. It's Friday morning, 14th of August. In 2 days' time, Stephen's party, the DAP, is going to have a congress this Sunday on 16th. So, I don't know if the questions on your ministry that we're going to ask may be moot in 2 days' time. Whether they'll be relevant or not.
Yeah.
Because we do not know how your delegates are going to decide or whether DAP is going to stay in the government, whether you are going to stay in the cabinet.
Yeah.
So, what is your anticipation or your hope for Sunday?
I thought this is about my ministry. If it's a politics, then
That'll be the first he walks out.
No, I think it's very clear. The Congress is a place. It's our annual general meeting actually.
Okay.
Right. So to get it right, because people thought that we are organizing a special meeting.
Okay.
Just to vote whether we want to stay or remain in government.
Okay.
I think that's not true, because this is our annual meeting as
So
a
it's not an
political
emergency,
party. No,
a
it's not,
special
it's not.
meeting. It is
So as a political
scheduled
party,
annual
as a political
Congress.
party, we have annual meetings, general meetings, and this is where because in the party constitution, the delegates to the Congress is the highest authority of the party.
Right.
Which then makes decision and delegates the executive power to the Central Executive Committee, CEC. So any decision of the party, direction of the party is set by the perwakilan, by the delegates.
Okay.
So therefore, one of the agenda on this Sunday, 16th of August, is for the delegates to decide whether DAP should remain in government or not, among others. Okay, there are many other things that we're going to discuss: party operations, reports, etc. Right. So, and we have made it very clear: the delegates have the right and freedom to decide what is best for the party, what is best for the people.
And I guess that's where the concern would be for those who want DAP to remain in cabinet. Of course, your colleagues Ngah Koming and your Sekjen Anthony Loke have sounded very positive, very optimistic about what they're going to decide on Sunday. But if it's just a decision among the CEC, I think you guys will be more strategic in your decision, bigger picture. But we're talking about 4,000 delegates, who are going, I would, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think many of them are going to vote on emotion. And so it may not go the way that you would want it to go.
I think we cannot underestimate the wisdom of the people, including members of political party. I mean, we have come thus far based on this structure of delegations of power, of Congress deciding on futures and directions and strategies. So, and we have come so far. I have confidence that delegates will make a wise choice, a wise decision based on not only the interests of the party itself alone, but also really the interests of the country. Because, like it or not, before Sunday, DAP members are also rakyat. They go to morning market, they go to the ground, they interact with fellow Malaysians, they interact with people in their community. So the aspiration and the anxiety of Malaysian society today will be reflected by our delegates as well. And I am on this part, I'm very confident that they will make a decision that is in the interest of our country,
of the country,
of the country, of course.
Okay. Okay.
One of the there's always this issue. See, sometimes this is going back to DAP many years ago. So there's always this is the DAP. This is theory that have been told to me by many people, also shared to me. A Chinese leader of another Chinese party no longer quite relevant here nowadays.
Well, it's not DAP, this is one other, right?
So anyway, he concluded that at some point DAP will be the main party representing the Chinese. I mean, DAP is a multiracial party, but Chinese will gravitate to DAP as a party of choice. No? So, but he said the issue with DAP later on, because the grassroots has for many years been, so to speak, been inundated with this information that the other side is terrible. Barisan Nasional is terrible, UMNO is terrible, all this thing. So now you are in the same table with many of them. So while the leadership have managed to progress and look into and go into this and looking into the real pragmatic of politics, the grassroots has yet to, and they see these things as sort of a betrayal of the party. Many of them couldn't. If you look at, not many, you look at social media, the comments are largely not too happy with DAP, like selling out to be in government. When in fact, as a political party, you want to go and move on and affect change. But they don't.
This is a very, very good question, right? DAP is 60 years because you said many years ago.
Yeah.
This is our 60th anniversary.
Yeah.
I think not just the leadership, but members of political party know deep in their guts. And this is not my quote, the quote of the great late Kapasing. In politics, there's no one who is forever your friend
Permanent
or your
friends
permanent
and
enemies,
permanent enemies,
but only permanent principles.
Okay.
We are very clear. DAP has worked together with many different parties in different coalition over the years, over the last 60 years.
Yeah.
This is not the first time we work with in a coalition, right? But we are very clear. To come together, it is not for the interest of having a position or merely to be a minister, right? But really, what is the baseline of coming together? So and again, we must remember the current coalition Perpaduan was a result of, number one, the titah of Yang di-Pertuan Agong for the sake of stability after the multiple crisis years during the pandemic, health crisis, economic crisis, political crisis. So it was aspiration not only of His Majesty, but the aspiration of the people of Malaysia that you want a stable politics, you want a stable government. Just forget your differences for a while and run the country. And we have seen the results, right? Some of these results. Number one. Number two, when we came together, it was not, come, let's form a government. You dapat ini, you dapat ini, you get this ministry, you get no. We came together. One of the first thing we did was to draw out what do you call it? A perjanjian. This is the baseline, right? Constitution, some values, and we said these are the baseline of our collaboration. The collaboration is not a collaboration of orang kata marriage or convenience. You just sit together because everyone wants to be minister. No, we have a document, right? So I think this is not working with in a coalition is not the issue. I think the issue at the end of the day is working in a coalition does not necessarily translate to compromises. Right? The members of DAP and our supporters wants to see that yes, we agreed for you to form this government, a unity government under the decree of His Majesty, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, but that doesn't mean it is a blank check to say, you set aside our core values. I think that would be the dynamic, right? Rather than say you don't work with this person or that person, but what is the core value? The permanent principle which the late Kappa Singh has spoken about.
Maybe you have in this unity government, you have served in various capacities.
3 ministries.
3 ministries. You know? I think you are
The most transferred person.
the most mobile. YB.
I don't know whether it's a good or bad thing.
But that puts you in a position, I think, to at least value or judge how this unity government has worked. But because you have been able to juggle. You're one of the youngest ministers in cabinet.
44, yeah?
This year, 44.
Year 44.
Say.
It's a good number.
It's a good number. 4 plus 4 is 8.
There you go.
But how do you sitting in cabinet, working with your colleagues, some of whom have resigned, have walked away from this cabinet, which is why I think Sunday is a cause for anxiety, a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
Not just among the AP, but also the people, because if the AP decides to go, I think it could be the collapse of this government, unity government. You know? And we have seen so many people go. Rafizi has gone.
Nick
Nazmi has gone.
Yeah.
Wong Chen, MP, has gone. Amno has gone solo. In
And then
Johor and
they're
Bismillah.
threatening more. But you know,
So does that, I mean, how does the government, has the unity government performed so far? And does it deserve to be abandoned midstream?
I like that saying, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, right? I mean, look at, I can tell you personal stories. And of course, it's very dangerous now to tell personal stories that you can work closely together with your coalition partner, especially emerging from two rather bitter contests in Johor and Negeri Sembilan. But fact is fact. Fact is fact. That at one level, politicians in this country are willing or are able to set aside certain political interests, certain partisan interests, to do something bigger for the people. So before I come to talk about this coalition, I remember a few years ago when I was in the Ministry of Finance, I was asked by the PM to attend the ASEAN Finance Ministers meeting in Indonesia. And in that meeting, all the ASEAN Finance Ministers, our colleague, talk about how was the pandemic being managed in their country. And I remember vividly saying that during the pandemic period, I was in the opposition. But I was also appointed COVID coordinator by the then Minister of Health, Saudara Khairi Jamaluddin, KJ. Ni bukan keluar sekejap.
Ini keluar lama.
Nanti keluar terus.
And, but so I said there is, and I feel very proud at that time. I feel very proud when I shared this with our fellow ASEAN ministers, because that shows that Malaysian politicians and leaders, at certain times, for whatever criticism that you can say about politicians, including myself, but at a certain time, we can set aside these differences, even for a while, and come to think about the big picture for a country. So this is what happened, I think, in the unity government. We have differences. In fact, as Datuk Zainul has said, some of these parties we have been fighting, battling, contesting, bitterly even, for the last 60 years.
Yeah.
Since our formation.
Yeah.
But truth to be told, there have been professional working relationship. Okay, and you have seen it, for example, in some of the economic numbers. You have seen it, for example, in some of the reforms and new legislation done. You know, you have in front of you, Terrence. This is my latest book.
Yeah.
Right, just came out of fresh, hot off the press.
Fresh, hot off the press.
Yesterday, the Malaysian Gig Workers Act was passed almost a year ago, this month last year, right? In August last year. And this is my chronicle of the whole event and also my short analysis of the legislation. This is a new defining landmark legislation. And in the book, I talk about the different players within the unity government.
Right.
I mean, I didn't expect this question to be up, and this was a coincidence that the book is here. Right, the different characters,
Yes.
playing their role to ensure the success of this reform legislation.
Okay, yeah.
So I think
But why we going back to the Sunday
sure.
meeting?
Yeah.
So this is this referendum was added recently, to be in the meeting, discuss in the meeting.
It's not true to say that it is added because of Johor. And,
No, I mean before that, there was some. They were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it was much earlier. It
Yeah.
was much earlier because we want to look at we want the member also to have a say.
But what
There's a direction.
prompted the referendum to be apart? I mean, what prompted DAP to have that referendum? See whether it should be in government or not.
Yeah, I think as I said, the highest decision-making body in the party is actually the National Congress, National Convention. That is where you elect your leaders, you set the general directions, etc. So the party leadership wants to allow members to decide, especially post Sabah last year.
Yep.
We want the party, what do you call that, delegates, party members to also decide what should be the direction of the party moving on. So it is not just a decision of the few people on top, right? Otherwise, you say, you are a minister, sure you want to keep lah, which is not necessarily true, right? To be very honest, I've always said that it's not about the position. Right? I was in 2018. I was the Deputy Youth and Sports Minister, right? On 23rd of February 2020. Langkah Sheraton.
Correct.
Right. 24th February, the next day, Dr. Mahathir resigned. And overnight, from a deputy minister, I became a normal opposition MP again. And a week later, of course, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin sworn in. So we lost our position, lost our government. And what did I do? On the very day, the morning that Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin sworn in as Prime Minister, on the 1st of March, that afternoon at 4 p.m., Saudara Lim Kit Siang, Saudara Lim Guan Eng, myself, we were already in Pahang giving ceramah. And then the next day, I'm in Penang. And within 2 weeks' time, you have the PKP pandemic. And I was distributing laptops and doing, so it's for DAP, we have 60 years of existence. Most of these 60 years, we were in opposition. So it is not about, clinging on to a ministerial position or not, but it is about that mission. What is the mission in the first place? Why are we in politics? Whether you are in opposition or whether you are in government, whether you're a backbencher or you're a frontbencher, what is that mission? And again, I want to point to that book. That book is, for me, a fulfillment of one of that mission, why I'm in politics. To give voice, to give protection for those who are voiceless, right? Invisible no more. To give visibility to millions of workers out there who are not protected in the past.
Right. Again, well, I know it was prompted by Sabah.
Yeah.
Then we have to, because DAP didn't do well in Sabah. So is it a time to reflect back on your role in government? So whether the party will be more effective as outside the government or inside the government. I would say it would be better inside the government because you can affect change, like this one,
The gig
workers bill. But now there is the reason why I'm asking what prompted this, apart from the poor performance in Sabah, is whether there is within the grassroots, there is rethinking about this DAP punya function in Malaysian politics. Whether DAP should be always on the side and keeping check of the government, or for some people, DAP to be within the government to affect changes. So that's why I'm asking.
Sure. Okay, that is the agenda behind the question.
Yeah.
I think that aside, I don't want to what do you call that? Put the cart before the horse before Sunday. And that aside, I think it is always very healthy. As a party, we always say, sometimes people say, how come DAP, you never control some of your leaders, especially, you know, sometimes some of our leaders are more outspoken than the others. So there's always a
Own goal. Many of them score their own goal.
You're right. Sometimes it may be on goal, but and then we some of our coalition partners or even some of our supporters will say, how come you all tak control, ask them to keep quiet. But I'm not trying to be pompous or big word here, but the fact is we are a democratic action party. There must be space for dissension. There must be space for expression within the party itself. And when we say we are democratic, that means not just the top few leaders. So I think that is the biggest. Sometimes they say DAP. Leadership very we have strong leaders. We have strong leaders, right? So sometimes you may say, very controlling, but it's not true. There's a lot of space, and you see, it's what is going to happen this Sunday is a demonstration that there is a culture of letting the people decide. Letting the membership decide. Not just the top few leaders, the 20% people, the 30 people, or even the SG alone or the chairman alone making decision. But the membership, the grassroots, to make decision. And as I said before, grassroots decision is not just about partisan biases. Because grassroots members, and many of our members are really from the grassroots, right? We have working class people, factory workers, you have small traders, peniaga kecil, you have homemakers, plumbers, and all that. So they also reflect the aspiration and anxiety of the society at large.
How is the process going to be like on Sunday? To reach the referendum?
Maybe a debate or something.
Is there a debate?
There's going to be a motion, and then the motion will be debated. Right? The Central Committee is going to table a motion, and the motion will be debated, and then if necessary, a vote will be called.
No, guys, I feel that since DAP joined the government, especially in the Madani government where they do UMNO, probably going through some sort of identity crisis. Should we? And I think a lot of some of your members, party members, the critique has been that. So one of the things is, and I've asked this to previous guests, including Shahrazan and Howard Lee, the Chineseness of DAP. Because immediately after Sabah, the first thing that came out of the secgens, I know you're the deputy secgen of the party, the first thing that came out of the party was about you raised the CEC flag, the UEC flag.
UEC,
You're talking about UEC. The UEC debate started almost immediately after losing Sabah, and that was when a lot of people were talking about DAP is still essentially is still a Chinese party. Like what I told Shahrazan. Shahrazan said, no, we are multiracial. Say, you're a multiracial Chinese party. So you're going through that motion now about who are we actually. And I think that's what your delegates are going to ask. That question is going to be in the delegates' mind when they cast their ballots, make their decision on Sunday.
It's always good for the leaders to be grounded and come back to the people, and in this case, the delegates, the membership, right? The base, our base, about decisions that we have made, about directions that we are going to. I think it's always a good thing to take stock and take account. Identity crisis. I'm not sure. I think what you really, our compass in DAP is not a compass of race, or certain religion, but our compass is really the values. Again, go back to Kapal's quote, the principles, right? So as long as you are guided by that principle, I don't think there is an issue of, who identity crisis. We are aware of who we are, right? And Terrence, I think maybe I would also want to correct you in the part of the UEC, what do you call it, the advocacy, because post Sabah, we have pushed for other things as well.
Right.
We have pushed for example, some of the economic adjustments so that, to lower the cost of doing business. I remember
They were not good for airlines.
Sabah was when?
Sabah was December.
December
last year.
Last year.
Okay, that one cut. Okay. Anyway, I remember early January we have on 5th of January, in fact, this year. Why I remember, because I on the 2nd of January I went to see the Prime Minister as the newly minted Kuskop Minister, and then we gave a wish list about some of the adjustment to help lower the cost of doing business, lower the cost of living, etc. So we have also pushed for that. These are non-racial improvement or reform. And we have also talked about SOSMA. We have talked about the two-term limit for Prime Minister. So I think there are many different reform on the wish list that has been advocated, has been pushed for by DAP and our coalition partners within the cabinet, within the government. But somehow, of course, again, certain things are more, highlighted than the others. Yeah.
Make good headline, good narrative. DAP is still championing Chinese issue only.
In fact, I think this is sometimes it's also very frustrating for me, because in the past I have some of my political opponent calling me Malai Chiang. This is probably the first time I said it in a non-Chinese
What does it mean?
environment.
I know.
Malai Chiang means strong Malay, because my name Shen Zi Chiang, this is my Chinese name, means Chiang is my the third word of the name. Chiang means strong. Okay, Chiang means strong. So Malai Chiang means Malay strong. My Melayu is strong.
Yeah,
Masa Melayu saya kuat. Of course, sometimes people say it's a compliment because you have strong command of the national language. But my political opponent uses to say that, oh, you only help Malay, and this is the problem, Terrence. When I assist a Malay, some people will say, this fella take votes from the Chinese, only help the Malay. And then if I help the Chinese, they say, you see, Cina tolong Cina sahaja. So if we want
Orang India?
India tadi tak ada orang tolong.
Steven kena tolong lah.
So what I'm trying to say is this: if we were to go into this path, it's a never-ending thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's a never-ending thing. In fact, my interpretation was, people were surprised that they say, hey, you can actually speak Mandarin. Chinese. I say, yeah, I can. Because the kind of the picture that they paint on me, some of my political opponent, is that, I'm only I'm not a Chinese.
Yeah.
So, and it's both sides, right? It's both sides. Right? And sometimes some of us are also guilty of some minor racism. I think how we can get beyond this identity problem, very important, because otherwise we'll always be. But my consolation to myself is that the some people say that I only help Malay, some people that I only help Chinese. Basically, we help everyone.
I'm very well aware of this criticism against
You've done something
against Steven's
Malaysia.
helping out a lot of people in his constituency, a lot of Malay families, a lot of Indian families, and then he puts it, of course, the social media team puts it on his socials, right? So and then I've heard this more than once. There goes Steven again with his poverty porn.
I don't know if you want to discuss this, but I think it's very. I've received all sorts of criticism, right? I said, nothing against my other colleagues,
Right.
But what is the difference of calling an event where you give bako makanan and you ask the poor people to line up on the stage and then take picture, the reporters in front snapping, and me projecting a real story of a suffering person, a Malaysian, telling his story and then showing that his life can change
Right.
if some of us just do something.
Yes.
Something, sometimes even minor. It all started, during pandemic, right? There was a sense of hopelessness. People felt that, sometimes, there were people who are raising white flag.
White flag,
yeah.
So I wanted to show that all of us, not just YB, Malaysians can do something to help a fellow Malaysian. Number one, I want to show that there is still compassion in this world, in this society. There's still hope. Number two, I want to encourage those who are suffering. Don't worry, don't give up. There are people around you.
Yeah.
And number three, I also want to encourage and motivate other people
to
to do
follow
the same,
suit,
right?
yeah.
So this is what I think my story is about. And I wanted to really project a positive, because when you open social media today,
Yeah lah. So many.
anger, cynicism, pessimism, it's hopelessness.
All the rage bit.
And I can assure you, everyone say, sandiwara. Buat sekali sandiwara.
Right.
Buat 100 kali, even if it's sandiwara, I hope more people in this world will continue to sandiwara to help others, to show compassion.
Betul?
The end justifies the
Yeah,
means.
betul.
Yeah, betul.
You fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
It's hardcore, but think
Yeah.
about it. You
Yeah.
fake it, just do it. Just
Sandiwara
help
pun
another
you're doing
person.
something.
Be friend another
something.
But
person.
you're not
Show
faking it, like you're
compassion.
actually doing something.
No, even if you accuse me of sandiwara, I said, go ahead. Everyone sandiwara to be good Malaysian. Everyone sandiwara to love each other. Everyone sandiwara to show compassion.
But those people
Let's
are being
do it.
helped.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And all of us do it times 100 times, times 1,000 times. If everyone is doing this sandiwara every single day of our life,
Let's see what
trust
they
me,
mean, yeah.
the needle will move. Something will change in the society.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but YB is very strong on welfare
Yeah.
agenda. When you move ministry, of course, at Human Resource Ministry, it was very clear. You were dealing with workers. Gig workers is basically your legacy,
This
lah.
was your baby lah.
And
The
then
gig workers
your
act.
minimum wage as well. But now in your new ministry, you're dealing with a different crop of people, businessmen,
Sure.
wannabe
Entrepreneurs.
entrepreneurs and all that. How do you deal with these people? I mean, I know that you just given us an advice. Kalau I have 10,000 ringgit, I want to start business, and you say better not. You should have given the three of us that advice. 3
Years ago, yeah.
But yes, but how do you deal with people who want to start business, thinking that everyone can make it in business?
But Datuk Rocky has pointed out something very poignant as well. Before I go into this,
Sure.
and I like it that now we are slowly transitioning
Now we can
into
return back to
the
politics.
government style, right?
Deliberate. And I see the look of relief on your face.
Oh, right.
That we stop talking
Okay,
about politics.
This welfare thing.
Now it starts, right? Now it starts. But yeah, the welfare thing, there is also another criticism that, hey, you're a politician. Even when I was in opposition, why are you doing this welfare case? You're supposed to do policy. You're supposed to change the system. I agree. I totally agree. But a hungry person or a homeless person, I met this family of I think 5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
Living in an old Beza car.
Yeah, I
Windscreen
remember
pun sudah koyak.
Yes.
Okay. With babies
Yes.
in the car, right? Hungry, homeless. Do we wait for committees to sit?
Correct.
Do we wait for the laws to be passed in parliament? For politicians, do they have the luxury to wait for politicians from different parties to debate? Sometimes may not be out of altruism or mission for the country, for political interest. Can these people wait for all this to be sorted out? And then the law being implemented, and then only get help? No, I said no. The hungry person needs an immediate help. And as a political person, a political member of parliament, my visibility is very high.
Yes.
So what do I use that visibility for? Right, to get votes only? To talk about my own big values, that may not have any impact on the homeless guy. No, I want my visibility to give a shelter to that person, even if temporary, to change his life. Right? So that's one. But then on the other hand, I agree that we have to do systemic changes, because otherwise you will always have this problem with you. Right? This is that
Fighting.
you have to save the current house on fire before you go and make sure that the hydrants are there. So the point that I want to address is this lah. As politicians, sometimes yes, we want to listen. It's important to listen, but it's also important to filter a bit of this noise because dia tak ada penghujung. There's no end to why you helping Chinese only, why you not helping Malay, why you helping Malay, not helping Chinese, why are you doing charity only, why you're not doing policy, why are you doing policy but the poor guy is not having food. So you have all sorts of demands. Sometimes this interest is even conflicting one another. But I think at the end of the day, as leader, we have to do what is right, whether it is popular or not. I've been subject of various sorts of criticism, poverty porn, only helping certain races, not caring for my race, what do you call that? Only doing charity, not doing policy, only doing policy, not doing charity, blah blah blah. So one of the things that we did was this. To do this law, which is a systemic reform of the whole gig labor sector. It's not just about the delivery, Panda or Grab or whatever. It's about the whole gig sector.
Right.
I trace it back to 2018, 2019. How many years it took until finally in 2025 last year, the law was finally done. So imagine sometimes, for better or worse, it could have been faster, right? It took me about slightly more than a year when I was given the mandate. It took me over a year to get the law passed through various stakeholders and then cabinet committees, cabinet meetings, and then finally parliament, etc. So reform takes time. It's not easy. You have to really. Sometimes I always say, you have to have a CEO mindset to drive that reform. And imagine if you are spending your whole time doing just one bill. What about other work?
Correct.
So we have to do so many other things. I think in Kesuma, we bought a year at least 5 to 6 average for the last 2 years, 5 to 6 legislation. We moved 5 to 6 legislation. Now going to KUSKOP, it's very interesting because I used to say I was in MOF handling money,
Right.
and then I went to Kesuma. I deal with workers, people, and then now I have to deal with their bosses. SME bosses. So one of the first thing we did was to make sure, because you are all leaders, very veteran journalists, you are all corporate leaders. It is not easy to deal with the staffers, your team. I don't know how many people you have in your outfit.
Too many.
You see, I talk to entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter if you have 5 workers, 100 workers, or 1,000 or 10,000 workers. It's not easy to deal with the team. I have 15,000 civil service under KUSKOP, 10 different agencies. That's why I said sometimes I have to function like a CEO, right, of an SME. Right. When I came in, the first thing I wanted to do is how do I ensure these 15,000 people who have their own experience, who have their own expertise, who have their own knowledge biases, 10 different agencies, different departments, different units, with their own mission. Historically, some of these agencies are decades. How do I galvanize them to focus on one thing, to focus on one mission together? So what we did was I set up a mission. Very simple. Make Malaysian businesses great. There's no confusion to this mission. You see a Malaysian business, make it great. That's it. One mission. And then in order to achieve this mission, we set a strategic framework called ABCD. I want it to be as easy as ABC. A, accelerate productivity. Help businesses to bring out their productivity. If you have today we don't have a pricing advantage anymore. So you have to increase your productivity. B, bureaucracy reduction. To make sure that if we cannot control petrol price, global energy prices, we must keep ground costs low. And one of the factor of ground costs is government bureaucracy, processes, lead time, B, etc. C, capital accessibility. I want to make sure that there is resources on the table, right? So that if companies need it, they can grab those resources. D, driving market access. I want to help Malaysian businesses, especially SMEs, to have a bigger participation. Not only in it's always very sexy to say let's go to foreign export expo. No, yes, it's important for an international regional market, but really domestically, I want them to have more meat. I want them to have more participation, not just eaten over or crowded by the MNCs and the GLCs. So A, B, C, D. My instruction was this from the onset. Okay, everyone achieve this mission through this ABCD. Think about it. If you want any department, any civil servant in my ministry, they want to spend money, they want to do program, they want to do project or whatnot, even if they want to produce a poster, if it fits into ABCD, buat tanpa was-was, go all out. If it doesn't, see whether it can be set aside or just do a bit. Because maybe there have been ongoing programs. So this is how I governize the whole ministry, and I can talk, eventually about some of our targets, etc.
But how successful have you been in this your mission to expedite and to cut bureaucracy? Because cutting bureaucracy is
not easy.
It's not easy.
I am obsessed with government delivery. I'm obsessed. This is my third ministry in this government, but this is my fourth ministerial experience. In 2018, I was in youth and sports, right?
Yeah.
My experience is that 90% of civil service, they are professional. They want to do their work well. And you cannot discount that in every sector, in every field, including politics, especially in politics, you have bad apples, right? So, but overwhelming majority of civil servants wants to do their job, with professionalism. So the difference is where? The difference is in the leadership. So let's talk about Kuskop. When I came in, I said, okay, talk about Tekun, one of our agencies. Tekun is 30 years old almost this year. It was set up in the late 90s, 97, 98. Okay. The goal was to empower Bumiputera entrepreneurs in this country. So I said it's good. It's a good thing. We want to help as many people as possible. The first thing I did was to increase the allocation. Right? Increase the allocation to ensure that more entrepreneurs can benefit from our program, number one.
Right.
But number two, I said, if I increase the allocation, if the culture doesn't change, then orang Penang kata pimai tang tu. That means you go around, still the same thing. So what I did was I removed that culture of kalau dulu you kena ketua bahagian kena sign, orang politik kena sign. I said no more. No more orang kabel, orang dalam or orang luar. You don't have to know anyone in Tekun to get approval for your financing. You don't have to know any politicians. Everyone can go in, right? Number two. Number three, and I'll tell you the results. Number three, I said, you have to reduce the lead time. Because one of the reasons why Tekun was set up was to prevent this chatty, haram, along, all this, right? Especially for micro, small businesses, peniaga kecil, penjajah, gerai. So we said, but I always challenge my colleagues. I said, how long is our lead time? 30 days to 40 days. How long is Along's lead time? Do you know? How long?
Here, last time in Bangsa, at the food stall, is daily, They come in,
one day.
you need cash, bagi, tomorrow collect. Because there's the food stall. The food stall is daily.
Daily.
So you see, 30 days, 40 days versus one day, approval. I said we have to.
The Along we had to go to also was quick.
Yeah.
I set a new target.
That's right.
Below 100,000 within 7 days.
Yeah.
Okay, within 7 days. And
7 days. Below 100,000.
Below 100,000
Okay.
within 7 days. We have done this. Okay. We are now aiming, this belum buat lah. People will say, it's belum buat, but I want to announce it because I want to tie myself up. We are aiming at, if it's below 20,000, not 7 days, not 5 days, not 3 days, I want it to be 24 hours. This we are working towards. The 7-day one done. Okay. And finally, the fourth reform that we have done within the last 6 months alone, right? This is the 6-month reform. Is for 30 years, if you want a Tekun loan, you go to 130 over Tekun offices around the country. Print out your documents, stacks of documents, go to the office, bincang semua tu, physical. we are living in the 21st century. TikTok, podcast, sebagainya. We buy and sell on our phone. Why can't we apply on our phone? So for the first time in 30 years, we launched online application. You can do it anytime.
But approval?
Same lah. Same.
Tapi-
The process lah, 7 days.
7 days.
7 days.
So you're already doing the pemantauan and
Okay,
and you are
let me
saying
tell you
results.
the results.
Outcome.
Okay, these are the 6 month. This is 6 month.
Okay.
These are all new within these 6 months. Number one, we have seen much more. Of course, the money has been allocated. Let me see, about more than almost 600 million has been allocated so far in the last 6 months
for tekun.
for over 30,000
30,000.
entrepreneurs in Tekun. Number two, because there is no more culture of orang dalam, orang luar. Out of the 30,000 entrepreneurs that received this year, 6 months this year, 13,000 are first-time recipient. This is one of the biggest so-called complaint I have when I become a minister. They say, Tekun ni tak boleh dapat. So now we have 10,000, more than 10,000 entrepreneurs in the last 6 months alone who have never gotten any Tekun assistance, getting it for the first time. Because you don't need any cable. You just need to submit. If you layak, I don't care what political party you are in. Go ahead. Okay.
Oh,
then
okay.
then the third one, that lead time, 7 days. Today, over almost 80% of our loan below 100,000 has been approved within 5 to 7 days. 5 to 7 days in the last 6 months. So we have seen that most of the time we fulfill, my staff all over the country fulfill that requirement. Right. So of course the online application just started 2 weeks ago,
Right.
so has yet to be seen. But I'm quite excited because it can be done. And this is just one example. I can give you an example. Recently, last 3 days ago on Wednesday, I met somebody in Penang. Right, he said because he was in bandage. I said, what happened to you? He said he's on a dialysis. Oh, I said, are you a SOXO contributor? He said, yeah. And I've received SOXO. I said, oh wow, good, that's good. He said, thanks to the government. He said, SOXO, it was so easy. His daughter was surprised that the approval for the SOXO subsidy was within a week.
Okay.
And the subsidy increased from 150 ringgit per time for dialysis to 170. That means an additional, more than about 240, 250 ringgit a month additional that he is going to receive because of what we did last year. Previously, to get approval for that dialysis subsidy,
Okay.
lead time is about 40 days. I reduced it to 7 days. And the system is still going on thanks to the current minister, my colleague. Right? So I'm very excited. I can give you different examples, right? Different example. Not enough, definitely not enough, but doable. What I want to say is this. In fact, I recorded that in my book. The law that we make, the reform that we have done, it may not be enough. And new ministers will probably need to come and improve upon what we have done. But we have drawn the line and say, and we have announced and declared to the world, it is possible. Doing better is possible.
Sorry, YB, going back to politics again.
Yeah, right?
But same,
I'm as surprised as you are.
related today.
Interesting. Sabar.
Sabar. Related today,
Yeah.
by being in government, you're allowed to do this
Reforms.
reform, right?
Yeah.
Then you can affect change.
Yeah.
But has this been translated to your grassroots?
Yeah.
That by being in government, you can
I can do
affect
all these
change,
things
rather than being on the sideline,
to all the entrepreneurs. You say,
rather than on the sideline and
I tell you, his question is very interesting. And the way he's asking question really compels me to give him a form. A DAP membership form. So that he can go and vote as well.
okay.
Anyway. No. I think more credit must be given to our grassroots members. Right? Yes, they may be, I have a member who is the Chinese coffin shop. Not coffee.
Coffin.
Not coffee, coffin.
Coffin.
Keranda.
Kedai keranda.
He is working for kedai keranda, the old traditional kedai keranda, right?
The one shaped like this one.
Yeah, the shit like that one, the
okay.
Pontianak one. The Chinese traditional coffin shop. I have a member who is I have a ketua kampung who was formerly who is actually a tukang pipe plumber. It's not a big plumbing company. He is a plumber. He's a plumber himself. I have a ketua kampung who is a pekebun kecil. You would think that, hey, all these are very grassroots. Some of them may not have high education. They'll be easily swayed. I know. I tell you, many of these are in the struggle for the last 30 years, 40 years. They understand what is democracy. They understand what is reform. They understand what is a good government. They understand the role of political party. And I tell you, I am the product of grassroots leaders and grassroots members like this. Many times, the things that they taught me, is more than the things that is more valuable than the things that I read in books. So I don't blame others for not knowing what's happening in our party. But I can tell you from an insider's point of view that our base, our membership base, our grassroots, they may not be rich people. They may not be. We don't have Tan Sris and the big shots in the party, right? Tan Sri Linggit Siang. One Tan Sri, but I said, I mean, we don't have that millionaires, billionaires. These are all very grassroots, working class people, but their wisdom, their understanding of the principle and the values of the party, values of democracy, I think this is what built the party. So I have confidence that members know what is best for the country.
So based on what you said, we can safely assume that DAP will stay.
Be staying government.
As I said, don't
Because there's a
put
lot of things to
don't put
roll
the
out.
cart.
And we have to apply for loans now. It's good that the minister is there.
Don't put the cart before the horse.
we need Steven Sim there.
This is
So
real.
please stay in
This is
cabinet.
real democracy at work, and real democracy is always risky.
Yeah.
Right? It's always risky, but that's the price of democracy.
Yeah. I still.
You want people to decide. I mean, sometimes they say it's more effective. One man show, one man decide everything. But in real democracy, then we really want the member to tell us. In fact, it is also a lesson. The debate will form lessons from the grassroots. They're going to listen in their own community. They're going to come and then participate in the debate. They're going to tell leaders, okay, whether you stay or not, what are the things that, because it's not just about staying or not staying, really. It is about what's next for DAP, what's next for this country, right? I'm looking forward to listening and to all the points that's going to be raised in that debate itself.
I think one critique about is the Madani government encompassing the component parties also in this administration is the lack of communication. Okay, maybe it's out there, but it's not being articulated properly or being sieved through. I mean, there's so many things, initiatives that you are doing in your ministry that is, if we were having tea earlier before the podcast, it was news to us that you have already dispensed about 9 billion this year alone to
SMEs.
for SMEs, for entrepreneurial development. You see, so but I think a lot of entrepreneurs, potential entrepreneurs, okay, they may not have heard of the initiatives that have been proposed. So in the last, you've been minister for KUSKOP for how long now?
This is my 8th month.
Your 8 month, okay. So in the 8 month, how would you rate the efficiency of the ministry in helping to groom new entrepreneurs, and also to tell entrepreneurs or wannabes like Rocky that you only got 10,000, go invest somewhere else, maybe go Genting or some place. The ROI is better.
Or put my money in Tabung Haji.
Judi itu haram.
So maybe the effectiveness of your own assessment of your performance or your ministry's performance.
I think we cannot deny. I think communication must be improved. Yeah. This is why I'm on this podcast. But I think communication must be improved in general for the government. But it's being a veteran journalist, being very, very experienced in this media. You are the leading, figures, right? Tokoh in this field.
Toko or tokong?
Tokoh.
Oh, toko.
Tokoh.
Silap dengar.
In this field, you would know more than anyone else that it is not easy. Communication is not easy in this world, in this age, There is a proliferation of all sorts of information. You are fighting with so many different outlets, platforms, individuals. Because in the past, maybe you, Terrence, Datuk, you are a journalist. You get that access. But today, everyone on the street with a handphone
Yes.
is a journalist in a
Yes.
way.
Right, so
Quote,
yeah,
you're
unquote.
right. Yeah.
So I always say, the Chinese has this word, 好事不出门，坏事传千里。Right? 好事不出门，好事不出门，就是 good things or good news doesn't travel beyond your door. 坏事传千里，bad news travel 1,000 miles.
That's a good.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
betul.
Good. That's very true.
So it is easier to spread negativity, anger, hatred, right? It's not easy to spread hope or love, for that matter, right? Compassion. It's not easy. And I know it firsthand because things that we do, right? But it doesn't mean we should give up. And coming back to my ministry, we all of us have to work harder together. Lah. I think all of us have to work harder together to ensure that positive news, good policies can be promoted, not just because you want to help the government, but you want to help fellow entrepreneurs, for example, right? You want to help fellow these people who are under protection of SOCSO, PERCESO, etc. But having said that, when I mentioned 9 billion, we have a target of 15 billion. We want to release at least 15 billion in the market. This is one of our major targets this year, right? We want something measurable.
Yes.
So 15 billion by the end of this year. And by the end of July, within the last 7 months, we have already managed to release 8.7 billion, which is almost 9 billion.
Right.
Benefiting more than about 250,000 entrepreneurs. So Terrence, if you said people don't know, who are these 250,000 entrepreneurs? People do know.
Right.
People do know.
Maybe
not enough.
These are micro loans.
No, at all level. At all level. SME. Because I have 2 banks. One of our banks is in your neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Bank Rakyat,
Yeah.
SME Bank.
SME
We have
Bank.
Amanah Ikhtiar. We have Tekun. We have SME Corp. And then we have also the Koperasi.
Right.
So, basically, it's not enough, definitely. But over 200,000 people actually benefited from our policy directly, from this 9 billion money being disbursed. It must mean something also lah. If it's possible, sometimes I also joke lah. I said some of my colleagues has resorted to dancing. I've not danced myself, and I don't think I will ever dance. I've resorted to all sorts of social media antics just to promote their message, their messages. So, and from both sides lah, I will credit. Politicians are trying our very best to
I'm just
promote
trying
our
to think who's
messages.
the minister that's dancing.
No, not necessarily ministers. I mean politicians in general.
Got
lah.
minister dancing?
Prime Minister was dancing in Negeri Sembilan.
Hanayo also
tourism
dancing.
minister.
So politicians are trying. Sometimes you get. I see one of my colleagues was criticized for dancing. He's not a minister, right? He state level. So, why are you dancing? But as he was dancing, he was putting up, what he has debated in the Dun. So he told me, because if he just say it like this,
Nobody
is going to listen and it's going to go.
But it's
And
true,
also
it's true.
the same circle is going to listen again and again. So
But
he
it's
said
true.
he wants to do a bit of different antics and then promote that message. I mean, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but some people praise him. There are a group of young people who say, this is a new idea, new YB that he connects with us. And then some people say, you are YB, why are you dancing? But my point is that everyone is trying their very best to promote the messages. So I think, yes, communication can be improved, but at the same time, people do know. And then thirdly, there's a lot of effort being done. More can be done, but it can only be done together. If you want to spread a national message, it must be together.
Okay. it ties up with your passion of helping people, especially in your constituency. Going back to the family in the bazaar, so they need immediate help. So it's this whole debate about give a man a fish and teach a man to fish. You got to give the man a fish first, to nourish him and to get him back on his feet. So like these entrepreneurs like Rocky who gets rejected, who gets told go do something else. How does your ministry, you don't just close the door on them, right? So are there pathways for them to be successful, to learn,
He's doing very well, actually. when Rocky, you mentioned about the 10,000 ringgit. I actually have an actual case. They say young people say, I have 10,000 ringgit now. I've save 10,000. What kind of business should I go in? I said, if you have 10,000 ringgit, maybe you take a step back for a while. Okay. Menteri Usahawan discouraging people from being an usahawan. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, the threshold to start a business in Malaysia, let us be very frank, it is very easy. You go register a company, you are a CEO. Berapa ringgit saja, you jadi CEO already. You put up, sometimes the joke is that you put up a table in front of your house, you sell some kuih, you're already a businessman. Right? You do it in other countries, within minutes, the bandaraya will come and sapu. In Malaysia, you can do it. So, the threshold of starting a business is very low. So, everybody rush into doing business. I think we have, if you don't have a sustained or sustainable plan, I always say the gold standard would be, you must make sure at least you have a year of capital.
Sure.
Because you don't expect, today I start a shop, today I want untung, I make money. Because the imagination is that I put 10,000, I open a shop, and immediately I make money within the first month. No, sometimes you have to, and even if you don't make money, you have got your costs, your overheads, right? So 1 year, you must ask yourself, that's my goal standard lah. 1 year or at least 6 months. Can you sustain for 6 months if the money doesn't come in yet, right? And then learn about the market, the competition, right? I have a young boy who lost 30,000 because he invested in a cafe, and then eventually what he decided to go and work as a barista from the bottom to learn the trade. I thought that was very very wise of him. So when I say don't go into business, what I mean is this: take a step back. My usual quote is that the my tongue too. When everyone is busy rushing into something, the most revolutionary thing to do is
Not to do it.
not to do it. Take a step back, think about it, strategize. Otherwise, you're just going to burn your money. Might as well go to Genting. Oh, it's a kind of sensor. So, but we have seen. I'm not discouraging. We are an enterprising nation, right? Malay, Chinese, Indian. Our Sabah, Sarawak. A lot of these enterprising people, right? And once you are ready, because the question is when will you be ever ready? But when you are ready, the government is there. We have 140 over financing schemes. Kuskop, we are committed to spend at least 100 million this year to train 100,000 entrepreneurs, because it's not just about the money. Money is important, but it's also about capacity building. I talk to a lot of private bankers. I talk to private equity guys. They say, we want to invest. We want to put money. We want to give you financing. But then, this business document tak ada. Or family run, family owned SMEs, which I think is really a very wonderful thing. We have not looked enough into the strength of family owned SMEs. There's a lot in Malaysia, but then there are also gaps. Oh, I want to invest, potential, but then the way the decision making is made in the dinner table, father CEO, mother CFO, and son COO. So we are ready to provide capacity building, to help entrepreneurs to grab these benefits, these facilities that are out there, to help them to improve. And ultimately, in fact, gentlemen, this year alone, the government, when I came in, one of the first things I did was to appeal to the Prime Minister, appeal to Finance Minister to increase allocation for SME. As it is in 2026 budget, Belanjawan 2026, SME allocation is already highest, 50 billion. But within the last 6 months, the government has increased another 10 billion. From 50 to now 60 billion ringgit. So there is money on the table. I think that is if there's a takeaway from what I'm doing this year,
Right.
is more money on the table, more money in the market, higher efficiency, lower cost of doing business. These are the three broad direction that we are heading.
Okay.
That's something different to we are listening from a minister. Usually kita yang kita dengar ialah kerajaan ni tidak ada duit.
Yeah.
Kan, there's not enough money,
Yeah.
squeeze and all that. And here comes Stephen Sim said there is money on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a story that can be told, you know.
It's very important because we are the economic competition today globally. It's at a warring scale. That's why you call it an economic war, a trade war, and a
Yeah.
tariff war, right?
Correct.
So for Malaysian businesses to win this battle, this intense competition, then the government must come in to support at the different scales and different level. And at the bottom line of it, really is the resources, is the money. Want to put money on the table so that whether you need the money to keep the lights on to survive, or really, I think there's a lot of opportunity as well to grow. The resources is there.
I think food for thought for SMEs. I think that's quite important because if, for instance, like you say, there are 200,000 individual got this
250,000.
250,000. No? But presumably, there is sometimes the thinking behind this, again, like you said, your bureaucracy, so difficult to do it and things like that. No? So how have you simplified the process of getting assistance from your agencies?
Sure. I give Tekun as one example, but Bank Raya and SME Bank, we have already set certain targets. For example, in Bank Raya and SME Bank, we said that for loans below 1 million ringgit, don't take 3 months, 4 months. I want them to do it within 14 days.
40 days.
14.
14.
1-4. But don't get me wrong, gentlemen. This is, again, I said this is a 6-month period of a reform that we are doing. There will be people who come to me and say, Steven, you tipu lah. I already 3 weeks, 4 weeks belum dapat lagi. Let's look at the reason. Let's dive down to see why is the reason why you belum dapat. Documents belum complete ke, or you have problem with your submission. Then we are trying to adjust and etc. Or simply because some of our ground staff has not able to achieve that level of competency. I can accept that because this is a new target that has been set. But as I said, for example, Tekun, I have the numbers because we have at least almost 80% of application was done within the target that has been set. From 40 days to 7 days. Right? I always say, aim for the stars. At least you can reduce.
Yeah.
Even if it's not 7 days at this point, because it's just, you get 10 days better than last time, 40 days. But we see the progress. I don't want to, it's not easy to handle 15,000 civil servants staff. They're all very good, very professional. And some of them are even smarter than ministers because they've been there for a long
For a
time.
long time, yeah.
So I don't want to just go in and, within the first 6 months, tighten everyone's, noose and you must do it, get it done. I come in like I always say, the CEO mentality, SME CEO, to make sure effectiveness, efficiency. But I think we need to give people the breathing space as well. It's not easy. This is not a private company, right? I know many people would think that you should run the government like a private company. Yes and no lah.
Right.
Because private company is profit.
Yeah.
Government also have to think about development, have to think about the people,
Welfare.
etc. Welfare.
Yeah.
But anyway, what my point is that the target that we set changes the mindset, changes the culture within the ministry that 40 days, now 14 days, now 7 days, future 24 hours. And I tell you, sometimes it's very funny. People ask me, how come can do now, last time cannot?
Yeah.
Some reason is as simple as because no one asked to.
Mm.
So as again I say, there is a lot of high professionalism among the civil servant. The different lines in the leadership.
Yeah.
I give an example of how we try to reduce ground costs. With the instruction of the cabinet, the chief secretary under his reform committee, we have looked through about 100 over licenses, business licenses, which in the past requires annual renewal. Okay, we have changed the annual renewal to allowing them to do a license for a period of 3 years, 5 years.
Sure.
Very low hanging, right? Because some of this license fee is very low. The problem is the hassle of going annually.
Yeah.
So by allowing them to do longer period of that renewal, then at least you reduce some of the hassle, some of the bureaucratic processes. So something as simple as that. So I've looked at the list. Now out of the 100, over almost 60 licenses has been converted from annual renewal to 2 years, 3 years, even 5 years.
Stephen, we are almost up for time.
Thank you.
So, but before we end the session, you want to tell us a little bit more about this book? Where is it available?
This is my latest book. This is my sixth book. This is the sixth book. Must be the sixth book.
Right.
It's called Invisible No More, the making of the Malaysian Gig Workers Act.
Okay.
Basically, it chronicles my experience, my view, my thinking, and some historical background, context for the creation of this new law last year. So the law was actually passed in Dewan Rakyat August last year.
Yes.
Almost a year
Yes.
ago. I did some analysis as well on important key components of the law, and then I talk about how basically it's a document of how this law came about from my perspective. I hope that as I said, this will be a record for future lawmakers, for future leaders, future ministers who is going to come after us, as a reference point why this debate happened in this generation, and also as motivation for them to come and improve upon the law that we have made.
Normally, politicians, when they come up with new books, they're always aiming for something else,
Which is
higher position. They want to be president. They want to be this thing. But when they come to book,
I'm already a minister. What else?
but that's
I don't know whether. But this is my sixth book, so if I don't know what other things.
So much time to write books,
writing is actually therapeutic for me. I tell you, one of my biggest problems is not. I mean, work stress you have lah, and that I can handle. But my biggest problem is the lack of time.
Yeah.
But whatever time I have, I take a bit out to do some scribbles. But this book is much easier to write because
Your experience.
I was
working
on
on
it for a year.
Yeah.
I was on it all. So I started writing fresh off Parliament. I quickly put out the thoughts because I thought it's important to chronicle it.
It's only 165 pages, guys. So
not too bad.
don't be lazy. You can
Not too bad.
You come
read it
out
in
with
one
any fiction?
afternoon.
You know, one of my dream is actually to write fiction, and I'm halfway through. But that was
Wow.
project was abandoned many years. I wanted to be like the
Fiction
Dan
based
Brown,
on reality.
something of a Malaysian Dan Brown. So not the deep fiction, but you know the easy popular fiction. Something about Hang Tuah maybe.
Well,
Treasure of Hang Tuah.
Yeah.
But I
you got no
cannot
time. You got a lot of things to do. And if things go goes the way that most people want it to go on Sunday, I guess we will see you back in your cabinet meeting next Wednesday, I suppose.
Inshallah.
That's I'm confident. A very good decision will be achieved, whatever the decision is, and all of us wants the best for the country,
Okay.
including all of you.
Okay. Yang bekerja Steven Sim Chee Keong. Thank you very much for being
Terima kasih.
our guest on Trick Lama.
Thank you.
And we hope once our studio is renovated, we will come back and we'll have another session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Trick Lama.